Sometimes, and if you've been with me on other episodes, you'll probably have heard that these words I'm sharing with you, I am not some rocket science, great philosopher on anything. I'm really just passing on to you the journey that I've been on for years, decades, that started with a very small question about where a thought comes from. Now, it's not part of this discussion today, but I've been thinking for decades about the essence of thought. It wasn't until many, many years later, and around about either late 24 or early 24, I came across a book called The Three Magic Words. And I won't get into the book itself, but if you get a chance, I highly recommend you pick up Mr. U.S. Anderson's book, The Three Magic Words. But in that book, in the middle of that book somewhere, that question I've been on for years was answered very succinctly by this gentleman, Mr. U.S. Anderson, about thought. And to summarize it before I get into today's topic, it really came down to is we do not think. Neither you nor I, none of us actually thinks. We only observe what is being broadcast to us, through us, across our mental screens, into our ears and our senses. We're getting information, some good, some bad, some ugly, some negligible, some tangible, some on the surface, some that pass right by us. But we're getting these inputs, and the only thing we can do is develop that awareness. And as I said before, to develop an acuity, a sensibility about what piques our attention. What piques our attention, but how do we get that? How do we know that what I'm being broadcast with is important and interesting to me to then pursue? I didn't give you an answer, but I gave you a process, a model to discern that. It all comes down to what I've described to you before about defining how you approach this life, defining your resilience. And at the ground level, a very low level baseline that I have outlined that I attempt to follow every day, and in more moments than not in that day, but I offer it to you as an example. Use it, discard it, trash it, use your own process and approach to your own resilience. But for me, I just simply defined it from the baseline of identifying and understanding or writing down or committing to your desire. What is your raw desire? What is it you want to do? There are questions in the book about determining a 3-column list or approach to getting to an answer about what do you enjoy doing, what do you do well, then matching those columns and seeing what appears on both columns, giving you an indication of what might guide you to what you should be doing. What is your call? What is your purpose? But that's on the desire side. Next level up, building on desire, is the discipline. How will you do that? Not just once in a while, not once every blue moon. How will you do this on a regular, consistent basis? Now, of course, all steps in this summary process is based on an assumption or another proposition that you are interested in promoting yourself, your creator, and your purpose from a positive, productive, yes, and love position. That's the assumption. So we have the desire, we have discipline. Next level going up is drive. You have established understanding your desire. You're applying that discipline to make that desire come into some form or fashion of something you can actually work with. And then the drive. How will you actually put this in action? be productive. Do something with these inputs. How do you get there? These things are coming at you from all different directions, high, low, before, beyond, under, on top. You're getting flooded with information that you may or may not need. But this infrastructure that I've mentioned to you before is how you can start distilling what is interesting to you, what pertains to you, what pertains to your unique direction in his life. So now you have desire, discipline, drive. And now that can emerge into your understanding of what makes you you. The beauty of you. How you have come to recognize, define, refine, uncover, discover, test, take it out in public, and see how solid you are in the beauty you have. Yes, it's mostly inside. It's not about the clothes you wear, the car you drive, or the money you don't or do have. It's about what is your beauty? What does drive you? And those three components, a quick summary, from desire to discipline to drive to your beauty. Now, that comprises the presence I often speak of in these conversations. The beauty of your presence. That is the resilience that I've been trying to remind myself of, refine, develop, refine again, and bring the best understanding of this thing called resilience and the beauty of presence forward with me. In every moment of each day, I have the pleasure and the humility and confidence to live and love through. So that is a quick overview of the intention of these discussions. That, we don't think. We can only observe what's coming at us, but obviously we cannot take in all the stuff that comes at us from the good, bad, and ugly parts of life and day. But this metric, this approach is what I'm offering to you is just an example approach. You might come up with a better one, but please consider this one again. And pardon me if I have said this before and you heard it for the 10th time, but remember, this is first for me, then to confirm with my Creator that it's still honest and true. And then, hopefully, the honest and true parts of this transmission make sense to you and something you can use on your journey today. Stay present. Stay current. No matter where you are in this world, please remember, it is always 8:20.